business owner? Entrepreneur? Want to learn how online marketing can improve your business?
Your questions.
Our advice.
This is Not a Real Job.
Welcome to episode 114 of Not a Real Job, a podcast all about podcasting. We talk about podcasts, which podcasts to listen to, which podcasts to make, and which podcasts not to listen to. I'm Joel Kelly, and I podcast.
I'm Leah Sanford. I don't podcast at all, but I think the answer to your questions are this podcast, and no other podcast.
You said Pawscast there for a second. Now, is that some sort of cat-related podcast?
If I'm going to listen to a podcast that is not this podcast, it is exclusively cat-run podcasts that I do listen to.
Okay.
It's the pause.
And
the listener can't see my hands, but I'm making a paw-like motion.
Just making a kitten pause. Like, yeah.
Good.
And you say you don't podcast, but I believe this is your third, if not fourth episode.
I don't independently. I specialize as a guest.
You specialize as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
So you're professional, certainly not the case, since you have never been on a professional podcast.
It's just a burn as you just look me in the eyes and you're like, well, you're certainly not a professional.
Well, I was just going to say you're an amateur podcast guest. I will endorse you for that on LinkedIn.
You know what? I'll take it.
Good.
I'll take it.
What are we talking about today? It's episode 114. We should discuss the reason Chris is not on this show is because he's somewhere, who could say, in the world right now. And
he's like Carmen Sandiego.
He is.
Guys,
exactly.
We're putting in a sub game to the podcast now, and it's where in the world is Chris Van Patten?
No one knows. No one cares to know. But anyway, time zones are apparently an issue. I couldn't podcast yesterday. He did text me around 9 a.m. our time yesterday, maybe before that. Likely quite a bit before that, saying he could podcast before 10 a.m. our time, but I didn't get out of bed till 3 p.m. So there was an issue. Instead we are podcasting from Halifax, and it's me and Leah. And what are we talking about today, Leah?
We're gonna, in the theme of where in the world is Chris Van Patten. Thought we'd go for a bit of a travel theme today, because you're hitting the road again.
Yep.
And so we're going to do kind of a rapid fire, a speed travel chat, if you will. I'm going to pose you a series of questions based on BuzzFeed's brilliant travel hacks you need to know.
Okay.
To see if you have used any of these brilliant travel hacks. Okay. And once we're done these, any tips you may have on the travel hackage. If one
hackage is an unfortunate word, but go on.
This is where we're at. So, Joel Kelly, have you ever, when packing your suitcase, wrapped your shoes in shower caps to keep them from touching your clothes?
Why would I have a shower cap? I am a bald man.
Fair point. You do put your shoes in a bag now, though.
I put my shoes in a space pack bag. Space pack? Space pack, all one word with no, that's definitely not it. I was gonna direct you to a website that is a high velocity central air conditioning system. Flight 001 space pack. They are space saver clothes. Go to the Googles. You know what? This might
show
end
notes,
up,
guys.
It might end up in the show notes if I remember to do this. But yeah, I have a shoe bag. I have a garment bag. I have an everything, several different bags for all my different things that I pack things in. Anyway, go on.
I've stolen these from you and they are delightful.
Yep.
Have you ever actually called your credit card company in advance of traveling to advise them of your international
trip? But 10 years ago when you still had to do that.
Fair enough.
You don't have to do that anymore. Anyway.
Do you store your loose cables and or chargers in old sunglasses case to keep everything in one place?
I have way more chargers and cables than would ever fit in a sunglasses case. So it's been on the show before, I use a cable organizer. And I have, again, it's been on the show before, I have a multi-outlet, it's a thing, you plug it into a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I keep the cables plugged into that and just wrap it around it. So I just plug that in when I get to the hotel. Go on.
Good. Have you ever brought an empty water bottle to the airport to refill it after you pass security, thus saving you the money while keeping you hydrated?
I'm not poor. Next.
Enabling private browsing when searching or booking flights online.
Why?
This apparently travel sites often track visits and will increase the price based on search history.
Huh. Fascinating. No.
You heard it first on BuzzFeed, friends.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, when packing your suitcase, do you roll your clothes to save space to avoid wrinkles?
Yeah, often.
Do you put this wouldn't apply to you, but putting bobby pins in Tic Tac containers to keep them from losing them where you don't use the bobby pins, I will say I put them in tiny Ziploc bags, but the Tic Tac things.
See, I thought you just kept your bobby pins everywhere.
Oh, no, that's just specifically in the house. When I travel, I'm meticulous about them.
Interesting.
We have them scattered over the house so that at any point in time, I can find a bobby pin.
It's true.
They're always around.
Mhm.
If you forget the wall plug-in for your phone charger, have you ever checked the back of your hotel TV?
I would never forget that.
Fair enough.
Interesting, though. I guess you could plug it into your TV.
There's usually a USB port.
Yeah, a good tip if you are crazy enough to not remember. Also, no, because I would plug it into my computer, which I would definitely have with me. Anyway,
That's
go
fair.
on.
We're going to skip the next one.
Which one is it?
Well, it's if you forgot your charger, which, again, you've proven you would not
What's
do.
their tip, though?
Ask your hotel if they have one you can borrow for the duration of your stay.
Of course. Sure.
I've actually borrowed them.
Yeah.
We've forgotten so many in hotels that they've actually laughed at us and handed us empty ones. Have you ever stuck a dryer sheet in your suitcase with your clothes to keep them smelling
No, but
fresh?
I might do that this trip because I am wearing... This
Your
trip is
suitcase,
very
you've
close.
been traveling at such a rapid speed, your suitcase has not had a chance to be
It's
aerated.
never been emptied fully in many months.
Maybe we put the dryer sheet.
The dryer sheet's not a bad idea. Next.
Use a pill container to store and sort your jewelry.
I use a pill container to store and sort my pills.
Might start using it for jewelry. Buy my own. Buy a portable phone charger. Yes, you have.
Absolutely, of course.
Turn a cereal container into a trash can for your car when on road trips.
Interesting.
Should.
Yep.
Should definitely do it. Buy a shower caddy from the dollar store and use it for easy eating. Oh my goodness, guys! If you could see the photo, these people have bought a dollar.
Well, we're obviously we'll link
caddy.
to it in the show notes because obviously this whole podcast is a complete rip off of BuzzFeed. We should at least link to them.
Oh yeah, this one's going up because this actually looks super handy. Driving in a car to use Google Maps offline. Type OK Maps. Yeah, you got that one.
Interesting.
Roll up your belt and stick it inside your collar shirts to keep them clean and stiff.
Then my pants will fall down.
I think this presumes you're traveling with multiple belts and not the one belt that you own.
Why would you have more than one belt? Fashion belts? Fashion belts.
Fashion belts. Brown and black is usually the colors people go for.
I go for dark brown. So it could be black.
When you're heading to a theme park or beach, do you put your phone in a plastic bag to prevent it from getting wet?
I would not go to a beach and...
do you do anything in particular to protect your phone now that you've whipped it at the ground to have it shatter in front of you?
You implied intent with that. No, I have a case. But I mean, I had a case on the one that I broke too.
To protect wine bottles and suitcases, have you wrapped them in the wine skins or pool floaties?
Interesting.
Okay, wineskins are expensive.
No, I wrap liquor that I take in my suitcase in my clothes.
Yeah, the pool floaty feels like a good idea there. Turn a pot holder into a case for your flat iron. I have had friends who do this. It seems brilliant. Use a binder clip to protect razors when traveling.
I don't shave.
That feels fantastic. Do you scan your passport ID and itinerary and email it to yourself so that you have a digital copy in the event of loss or theft?
No. But sure.
I think all of your travel itinerary comes as an email at this point.
Yeah, my itinerary. Yeah, but my passport is the only one I'm
Prevent bottles from leaking in your luggage by placing plastic wrap over the container?
These are people who travel once a year. If you're traveling twice a week like I am, you're not putting fucking saran wrap on every bottle.
Doesn't have TVs. Have you ever put your phone in a bag and hooked it to the back or used your tray table?
No, I am working. What do we got? What was that? You're skipping them. I'm
skipping them. Yeah. You can Google your airline name and flight number to check the status.
I Google my flight number to get the latest gate information.
Keep your headphones and chargers tangle free, wrapping them around. Oh, gift cards?
Why gift cards?
If you want to drink on your flight, you're allowed to carry on miniature bottles.
You're actually not on a lot of different airlines, but no, I don't do that. That's a bridge I don't want to cross.
A bridge too far?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the list from our friends at BuzzFeed. I'm going to put that in the show notes. Do you have any travel hacks from pop culture references? You watch a lot of movies. You love a lot of travel movies. And have you tried any of the tips? I'm thinking like Die Hard, where he gets to the hotel room, he takes off his socks and rubs his toes through the carpet because that helps him feel grounded again or whatever that was. Have you tried that? Like, or what? Have you picked up any?
I don't like having bare feet.
Travel references from movies or other podcasts that you have particularly enjoyed, or do you have any that you would like to impart upon the listener?
Well, I mean, my travel hacks are really, a lot of it comes around just having the right equipment. Like you can get pretty far not having the best stuff. But
so let's try that. Let's say we're budget travelers.
Okay.
and I'm not traveling for business. I am throwing my stuff in my backpack and I'm heading to Europe. Are there any low budget tricks to either adapting to new time zones, finding good restaurants, knowing the safe places to go, surviving airports and airplanes and tiny middle seats?
Use Firsthand. Go to askfirsthand.com.
Okay.
If you're going to one of our launch cities. I mean, I would say you really have to factor in how much, and this is going to say like spending money's the answer to everything, but it's not. What I do think, though, is that you have to factor in there is a dollar value you can put on your own happiness at some points. And like, yes, you might be able to scrimp and save a little bit of money through discomfort. But especially if you're traveling for pleasure, I would say, especially if you're traveling for business, don't be uncomfortable because or more uncomfortable than you need to be, because this is work, and try to get the most out of it. But if you're traveling for pleasure, don't put yourself through uncomfortable, shitty experiences just to save a buck or two, unless you get some pleasure from, I don't know, martyrdom or masochism. But pay the $35 for that economy plus seat if it's a long flight. Like, if you have to pay to get into the exit row, do it, because that means that a lot of people cheaped out and didn't pay the extra $30 for the exit row. So you might have the whole row to yourself. That's happened to me many times. Like, those small things, yes, they add up, but there's small little conveniences they can give you for just a slight bit of breathing room. Always check in early to make sure you're not in a middle seat. The people who end up in middle seats, the only people who should be in middle seats are people who got bumped from another flight for some other reason and got stuck on the only seats that are left. If you booked a flight in advance, you should never be in a middle seat. There's always another seat. That blows my mind when people just wander onto a plane and are like, oh no, I'm in the middle. Like, how did you not know? Go online, check your seat, move another seat. And yes, if it costs you $25 to $50, it's worth it unless you love being uncomfortable. So do that. Cost saving things. I mean,
okay, so maybe not cost saving, but
I think trying to cost save. There are people out there who specialize in saving money when traveling. I specialize in reducing friction.
Okay,
when
so
traveling.
let's look at it that way then. Are there any? Do you have a trick for or any things you do around your ears popping when you're flying, because you're up and down so often this time?
You are talking to
winning
someone
over.
I've had a sinus infection since March.
Winning over flight attendants.
Yeah.
Like the value of befriending your flight attendant.
Absolutely.
Not in a creepy way.
No. But I definitely do recommend being nice to flight attendants. If you are ordering liquor, which I often am, be excruciatingly nice and pleasant. Have your credit card out. Don't fumble to pay. If they say they need exact change on that plane and you don't have it, you don't get liquor on this flight. Like, be nice. You can go back to the galley and ask for more booze, or even if it's not booze, you can go back to the galley and ask for water. If you're nice enough, they will do it. Flight attendants are often, they can just be back there eating their lunch. And be nice. Understand that you interrupted them while they were either working or taking a short break. But be nice and ask for that water that you want, and you'll get it. And they'll be nice too. I think absolutely, like, your flight attendants are the people that you should be exceedingly, excruciatingly nice to. They are the people that control how good or bad your experience is for several hours. They are the gatekeepers, so be extremely nice to them. That's really my big one. Everywhere else, same with the hotel at check-in. Be excruciatingly nice to those people. Your concierge, anyone you deal with in any of these positions, like anyone who you can get full of yourself, and you can get upset that there are gatekeepers throughout your experience, people for whom you do have to pass a trial to have a good experience. And I recommend just accepting that. You are not the boss of them, even though you're the customer. They are in charge of this experience. So accept that, enjoy them, and enjoy the way they can help you, and be nice, and you'll have a better experience for it. Every time you call for room service, every time you deal with reception or check-in, every time you ask for anything, just be super, super nice, and it will be paid back to you in some way, even if that is just having a good experience. And I can't recommend highly enough just being nice. Tip everyone. Have a couple ones in your pocket at all time. It doesn't matter how much you're tipping someone. Just remember to tip everyone that you possibly can, as long as it's not awkward, and you'll have a better experience. You technically can tip flight attendants, but they have to say no a couple times. I read that somewhere. I have never tipped a flight attendant. I don't think I would. That feels dodgy.
Feels like an awkward interaction.
Yeah. But basically everyone else, be generous and people can help you out.
Favorite place you've traveled to?
For work or pleasure?
Anything. Favorite place you traveled to?
I mean, obviously I love going to New York every time we go there, but Amsterdam is still top of the list.
Craziest place you've been?
Cody, Wyoming.
Place you really want to go to?
So many places. I think it's been way too long that I haven't been to Scotland or Ireland. I think those are places that there's too much for me to learn about those places. I'm upset I haven't been yet.
Cool.
What about you, Leah? Do you have any travel hacks to share with people?
Oh, I'm the person who brings the empty water bottle.
Yeah.
Always forgetting my charger. Usually making nice with people to borrow a charger. Paranoid about making my flight. Have to triple check everything 100 times. Anxiously wait as soon as they start calling people up to the gate. I'm like hovering in the background. But always very respectful of lines and process. As a person who works in process all day long, I respect people who have processes coming in. I try to be cheerful with everyone. I'm usually the middle seat person. Through no fault of my own. And yeah.
If you're worried about, here's my final tip. If you are worried about missing your flight or not getting up on time for your meeting, as long as it's within a reasonable time, like don't do this before, say 6 a.m. Don't ask for a wake-up call. Ask for coffee or breakfast to be delivered for room service. Wake-up calls have been notoriously unreliable for me, but room service has never been late in the morning because they get paid for room service. They don't get paid to give you a wake-up call. So do that instead. And it's so much nicer to wake up to a pitcher of ice water and a pot of coffee than just your phone ringing.
Also, you can fall back asleep.
So that is Not a Real Job for this week. In the show notes, you will find links to that BuzzFeed article we talked about, as well as Flight 001 space packs. Get them. I have the whole set. It's amazing. It's a great way to keep your suitcase organized. Use Travel Pro luggage. Travel Pro is the official luggage of Firsthand, the app that Chris and I are working on. It is by far, they are the official luggage of Firsthand because I reached out to Travel Pro because they are my favorite luggage. Couldn't live without them.
Oh my God, your suitcase is so much better than my suitcase.
I have the suitcases I use are the best suitcases you can buy, and they are also happen to be some of the cheapest suitcases you can buy.
I bought a fancy, expensive one. I bought it on the base of it was really pretty and it looked different from everyone else's suitcase so that
that's what luggage tags are for.
I can spot it on the carousel, and that bugger is heavy and literally falls over every time you stand up. Every time. Get
good tools. Like I kind of said before, just get the right stuff. Reduce the friction in your traveling by getting the equipment that's best for it. You can find us at notarealjob.com, notarealjob.com/iTunes, rate and review us. Stitcher.com/something. I don't know. I've never used Stitcher before. Chris usually does these. Twitter.com/nargecast. Facebook.com/notarealjob. Follow Firsthand on Instagram. Instagram.com/askfirsthand. You can find Chris and I, Twitter.com/Joel Kelly and /Chris Van Patten. Leah's not on the internet because she doesn't believe in it. And I think
it's an awful space, people. Apart from the delightful podcasting world, Chris Van Patten, wherever you may be, I hope you're well. All of these travel questions apply to you because you, I think, are the one person traveling more than Joel right now that's in my life.
Yeah.
So I extend the entire same line of questioning to you, sir.
And we expect your response immediately. So I think that's it. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you for having me. Lovely to be on the show again.
Anytime. Bye forever.
Bye, guys.